Hey there, it's Dr. Brandye. How you guys doing? It is Wednesday. Happy hump day. Yes, we are making it through this week. How you guys doing? I am doing awesome. I'm here at home. I made it home in a reasonable amount of time today, although today was a little crazy in the clinic world and COVID-19 and all that other stuff, but I made it. I'm here because I wanted to hang with you guys. So can't wait to see you jumping on. Um, just wanted to get on and talk with you. Our ongoing topic has been love in the time of lockdown. So we are going to talk some more about that tonight. Yes. How are you guys doing? How's everything? How are you holding up in this time of sheltering in place? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a great time. And tonight we're going to talk about some other strategies that you can use to help to maximize your time at home and, doing some great things just to enjoy life while you're taking and being mindful of your health and doing the things that you need to do. So can't wait to jump into that. Today was interesting. One, for first and foremost, was just the weather. Like, it has been raining off and on here in California, and today it was actually sunny and warm. So, I've been wearing my big coat and all that stuff to work, and today I was like, oh, I don't even need this. So maybe things are taking a turn and we can get some springtime weather, maybe a little summertime weather too, and get some things going. But we'll see. We'll see. Hey, Leo, welcome. Thanks for joining. Glad to see you here. Hope you're doing great. How are things going for you at work? I was just saying that work was a little crazy for me, but we made it through. We persevered. We can do it. But yeah, so one thing was the weather. So I was so happy that the weather is changing and turning because I was enjoying the rain a little bit, but I am a spring, summer kind of girl. So I appreciate when the sun comes out and it's warm and I can do, some other things. Oh, Leo said work is great. Good, girl. Good. I'm glad. Today was a day. I'm here though with a smile on my face. Right? So yeah, and actually what I was doing with different patients today is kind of impacting what we're going to talk about tonight for our live stream. So work was great in terms of inspiration. And I'm at home now and I'm feeling really good. So glad that you're here. So we'll get started. So I am Dr. Brandye, board certified OBGYN, Amazon #1 best-selling author, and women's libido coach. And I teach women how to feel good in and out of the bedroom and how to get their sexy back. So tonight we are going to be talking about love in the time of lockdown. And we're going to be talking about, obviously my favorite subject, we're going to be talking about sex, and we're going to be talking about dating too, and some of those things, just because those have kind of come up when, with what I've been doing with my 9-to-5 work and also what I've been doing with my coaching work. So I just wanted to get on and talk a little bit about that. So for my ladies who are in a relationship already, and I know we've been, sheltering in place for a little bit now. Hopefully the relationship is still good. You're not, giving side eyes to each other and, all that other that's going on because, you've been this close to each other for the last month. So I hope things are great in that aspect. But, I have had people who have been abstaining from sex from their partners who they live with because they are worried about COVID and getting COVID. or the getting the coronavirus and getting sick. And I'll say this, I think it's definitely important to take a look at your risk factors and find out, and really kind of dig deep and see what's going on. Like if both of you guys are at home and neither one of you is going to a place, you're not like an essential worker and you're going someplace where you are potentially exposed on a regular basis to other people and having, exposure to the virus, then I think you are okay to engage in sexual activity. It's fine to hold hands, kiss, have sex, all those things. If you are at home together, not doing, anything that is putting you at a higher risk than, say, somebody else who's in the regular population and not having to go to, a place, whether it's somebody who works at a grocery store, a mailman, a healthcare worker, those people actually, I think you should be thinking a little bit more of whether or not it's safe for you to engage in sexual activity, because you have a higher risk of exposure to the coronavirus or to COVID-19, and you potentially could not only bring that home, but then spread it to a partner. And we have seen some stories of, multiple people and families succumbing to the virus because, one person was exposed and they came home and, through no fault of their own, I'm sure, because they were being careful and doing all the things that need to be done. Still there was the chance for someone in their household to get sick and people, having either the sickness and also dying from that. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to get on and talk about this, because, you got to look at your risk and you got to figure out, is this risky, right? And, like I've told you guys, I think I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, when all of this started going on and I knew that I was going to be in the hospital and things like that, I made the decision and made the choice to send my daughter to be with her dad so that she would be safer, so that she would not have that risk of being exposed through me being in the hospital and going back and forth and all that stuff. So, yes, it was a hard decision, but it was necessary because I didn't want her to get sick. And, I know that you guys feel the same way about your families and about your loved ones. So that's important. If you are a healthcare worker or someone who is an essential worker and you are potentially being exposed on a daily basis to coronavirus or COVID-19, then definitely I want you to, think twice about whether or not you're going to engage in sexual activity with your intimate partner. Who you live with is what I'm talking about. Because we got to talk about the other distinctions of things, right? Okay. Hey, Olga, thanks for coming on. So glad you're back. So if you're living with someone and you guys have been quarantining together, and you're not going out and doing things, yes, you can have sex with that person and that should be fine. It shouldn't be an issue. That being said, we don't know. We have no idea if the COVID-19 or the virus known as as SARS-CoV-2, we don't know if that is a virus that is transmitted through semen or vaginal fluids and things like that. We don't know. We don't have any data on that. So that's why we are cautioning people, if you are not quarantining in place with your partner and you are trying to make some arrangements and things like that, probably wouldn't do anything that's going to involve the sharing of bodily fluids. If you have to, if you're like, I just can't, I gotta do this with my partner, use a condom, because we don't know any of the stuff in terms of affecting a pregnancy, affecting a baby if you were to get pregnant. And there was the virus in the semen. We don't know, about transmission from those bodily fluids. All we know is about respiratory droplets and how that gets aerosolized and things like that. So if you're not sheltering in place with your partner, I would say, don't play that game. Just hold off. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Trust me. And I got some, I have some tips for you. So don't trip. Okay. You will still be okay. So that's for our booed up people, right? So what about for our single people who, were out there dating and having a great time, and now it's like Corona lockdown. You can't go out on a date with somebody. You can't interact like you would normally interact with somebody. And so, now you have the option for a virtual date, right? Because we have all of these video conferencing, FaceTime, Zoom, Skype, all of those that you can use to connect with another person. And, honestly, I think it is probably a great idea and a great way of connecting with people. And I know some people, they're like, oh, okay, online dating, not online dating. And that's a whole other conversation. But now that you are kind of forced to connect with people, either just by telephone, or if you really want to see their face, doing that video conferencing, that can be an awesome way to stay connected. And this is a bonus because you are doing things like face to face, and you have to, you can't do other things like normally if you're on a date. See if you recognize this. You're on a date, you're talking to the person, but you might be looking around at other people. If you are nice, you won't have your phone out. If you're a good person, you won't have your phone out while somebody's talking and you're scrolling through your feed on your social media or stuff like that. But you have kind of the other things to distract you, versus if you're having a Zoom date. You have to focus and pay a little more attention to the other person because they can see you. And so you can't be like, yeah, they can see if you're, I'm talking to you, but I'm really doing my work. And yeah, or, you're getting bored and you're sitting there like this. Because when you're on a date, you are more likely to do the things that you need to do to appear interested and all that. But when you're at home and it's just a virtual platform, you might want to slack off and forget that the person can see you, and just some other things can come up. So that's one thing to be aware of. If you're doing virtual dating, make sure that you are paying attention to the other person and you're engaging with the other person. I was having a conversation the other day about this with some of my friends, and we were talking about, how this could be kind of a revolutionizing of the dating world, simply because you do have to pay attention to people, and because you're not like close together, you are vibing, but you may or may not be vibing off of that kind of that sexual energy, which for some people is a good thing, because you're actually taking time to get to know somebody, and asking in-depth questions and listening to the answers, versus, oh, I feel this because I'm close to this person. Oh, he smells so good, I just want to be all up on him. Some of that part of it is taken away because we're doing the virtual dating thing. So maybe it could be an opportunity for you to really dive deep and get to know, people, and figure out, pretty quickly, do I like this person? Do I not like this person? Because who wants to be on Zoom with somebody and you really don't like them, and you are not vibing, you're not having a good conversation, stuff like that, right? So that's the second thing. One, just, being able to connect with somebody in a different way. Two, being able to kind of determine quickly whether or not somebody you want to keep entertaining someone or you want to move on, right? Yeah, because nobody has time to waste. Nobody has time to waste. So those are two things that you can look at in terms of virtual dating. And then three, like I said, just getting creative. Like I've heard of people postmating food to their date so that they can still have dinner together using the virtual platform. And that's something that you could use if you are in a long distance relationship or you don't have to be that long distance, because right now we're sheltering in place. And if your partner's across town and you're at your house and you can't get together because you're supposed to be sheltering at your place, you can use these same platforms to engage in dating and, learning about the other person, connecting with the other person. I have seen some articles out there talking about, virtual sex with your partner if you can't be together, and doing, things that are normally, like masturbation and self-play and things, but involving your partner with that process via the visuals, because you are FaceTiming or doing all these other things. Hey, Dr. Erica, thanks for jumping on. I'm so glad that you could come on tonight. So glad to see you. Ooh, hey, Anel. So glad you are coming back to see us as well. So we're just talking a little bit about dating and the virtual dates and things like that because of the sheltering in place, and how that could be helpful even if you are in a relationship, but you are, not together, you're not sheltering in place, how you can use the technology that's available to be able to connect on a deeper level, on a different level, and be able to still enjoy your partner, both the intellectual stimulation, to be able to see your partner and have that visual stimulation, and then also to be able to engage in intimate activity and engage in sexual activity with the use of technology. Hey, Diana, welcome back. So glad to see you. Anel said nudies, LOL. Yeah, well, perhaps, if that's up your alley, that's what you are willing to do, then you could do that. Now, you have to be careful, because you have to be careful who you're doing this with. So that's why I said with somebody who you are already in a relationship with. Now, if this is a new person, please don't be flashing all your goodies on Zoom and Skype and FaceTime. Please don't do that. Don't do that. But if this is somebody you've been in a relationship with, you trust this person, you can do those things, right? Right. Hey, Tamika, welcome back. So glad you are here. Anel said, don't show your face, right? Or any distinguishing marks that somebody can use to identify you. That is the truth, my girl. That is the truth. So you got to be careful. You got to pick and choose what you're showing, right? And sometimes it can get a little awkward. Like I read this article from someone who was in a long distance relationship, and because of COVID, they were, using the computer, the laptop, and the camera on their laptops to do stuff. And it was just the way that the girl described it. She was like, it was just really weird, to be doing that in front of the camera. So, be aware that this is not your normal. So it could be a little weird to, undress in front of the camera, and it may feel a little uncomfortable. So check in with yourself to see, do I feel comfortable doing this, right? I know this is out of the norm, but do I feel comfortable? And then, just having open dialogue with your partner. You may want to start off kind of slowly and just, be on together with the lights out, the candles on, some soft music playing, and just, pleasuring yourself without showing any of the important parts, right? because you can do that. You can, even in movies, that's kind of how they do it. They don't show, the real deal, all that's going on, but they show faces and you hear sounds and things like that. So you can use that as a stepping stone to be able to, bridge that gap to see if that virtual realm and if that technology realm is beneficial for you, right? Hey, Pamela, I'm so happy to see you. Thanks for coming on. So glad you could join us tonight. So testing the waters and seeing what's happening, seeing how you feel. And then if you want to go full Monty and just do it, then, that's on you. The other thing that was in that article from that person who was describing their experience with, sex via technology, she was saying that, after everything was said and done and, the deal was done, they both, they were happy and had their climax, that it was awkward to kind of get off the technology and kind of hang up and stop, the sharing and all that stuff. So that's another time where you may want to work out beforehand, before you get started. Like, listen, after we do this, are we going to, do pillow talk, or are we really going it just stops and goes and that's it. And it just goes off and we're done. Like, you should have that conversation. You should talk to the person that you're going to be doing this with. So you know what the expectations are, because you don't want any hurt feelings, because it's already kind of weird and awkward to start off with, because you're not used to doing that. And then two, you don't want to, make the other person feel weird or bad or anything like that. Just know that you both are probably feeling very awkward, and just talk about it. Talk about it. That's the best thing that you can do. Talk about it. That's one of the number one things that I am a proponent for. Just talk about it. Talk about it. Even if you're uncomfortable, talk about it. You know why? Because more than likely the other person is uncomfortable too. And if you can be uncomfortable together, you are experiencing something together that will bond you. So don't even trip. Don't be shy. Just talk about it. Right? So that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. Just love in the time of lockdown and how we are using technology to help in the dating realm, and also for those who are in long distance relationships, so that you can be safe and engage in activity that you would normally engage in, but in a safe way. And then talking about the people who are sheltering, the couples who are sheltering in place together, and those specific times when you may not want to be sexually active, and specifically around those who are working in the healthcare industry, who potentially could be exposed to COVID-19, and trying to minimize that exposure to your loved ones and your family and to your intimate partner. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Definitely, if you have any questions, throw those in the comments. If you are watching this on the replay, definitely put #replay in the comments. And if you have any questions or comments, throw those in there too. I will come back around and answer those if they come up. I'm happy to do that. And then tonight, I wanted to talk just a little bit more about something that I have coming up. I don't know if you guys caught the video yesterday, my announcement, but I'm hosting a 5-day Facebook challenge called the Big O Challenge. And this challenge is for any woman who wants to level up her sex life. Even in this time, you can still level up and have a great sex life. So we are going to be talking about all things bliss and intimacy for 5 days. And I am super excited because I want to be that resource and be helpful for women all over the world. That's my vision for helping women all over the world. And what I would love to have is for all of you ladies to jump on and join the challenge. It's going to be an awesome, awesome thing. We start next week on the 20th. And I have been working on this for a little bit. And I'm really, really super duper excited about it, because not only are we going to be talking about bliss and how to optimize and maximize your bliss in life and in the bedroom, we are going to have an after party every night. Every night. So you guys get to hang out with me. We're going to have music. We might have a little dancing. I'm still debating about the dancing, but we might have a little bit of dancing. We're going to be answering questions and, giving all kinds of talk and help and communication and things like that, because that's always important, right? But I'm also going to be giving away prizes every night, as long as you do the homework. You got to do the homework now. I'm an educator. You got to do the homework. But if you do the homework and you post on Facebook and you're engaging, you might get a prize. So why not? Why not? Especially if you're sheltering in place, if you're at home sheltering in place, this is the best time for you to learn a new skill, learn to do something better, upgrade, level up, do all those things. So why not? Why not? Hey, Dr. Ken, thanks for joining. I'm so happy that you're here. So big old challenge. We're starting on the 20th. I hope you'll be there, because we are going to have an awesome, awesome week. We're going to have an awesome time. And I don't want you to be left out, because we're going to be talking about it for a while. After all of that, it'll kind of be what happens in the challenge stays in the challenge, but I might pull out some nuggets, not naming any names, none of that stuff, right? But we'll see. There might be some good nuggets that you don't want to miss. So make sure you sign up at bigo2020.com and you join so that we can get things started, level up, upgrade. Dr. Ken said, I'll be looking out for all the glowing. Yeah. My girls are called the Glow Girls, Dr. Ken. So they will be glowing after this challenge. Yeah. And Tamika's already in it. Diana's already in it. So level up, y'all. Go ahead and sign up today at bigo2020.com. All right. So I am Dr. Brandye, board certified OBGYN, women's libido coach, and #1 Amazon bestselling author. And I teach women how to feel good in and out of the bedroom and how to get their sexy back. So if that's you, go ahead and sign up for the challenge, and I will see you guys later. All right. Have a good time. Have a good night. I'll see you later. Bye.